Welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Convos. My name's Ashley, and this is my cousin, confidant, and co-host,
Reagan. And here we like to discuss things that are going on in the world.
And what's going on in our own lives.
Nothing is off the table here. So pull up a chair and join us for another Saturday. Hey guys, welcome to a special edition of Saturday Night Convos. I'm actually not sure what the number is. However, Reagan can probably shoot that out if she knows it. We were gonna just release our second edition of our stories or our ventures to Toronto. However, Thursday, monumental, our head of state in Canada passed away, which really we can get more into it. Really, not all that surprising. She's 96. And I want to say, I think you called. You're like, I'm pretty sure about September. Did
I
you
think I
say that?
did, yeah.
You did. And I was like, I don't want to put a date on this. Um, so they were like, it's shocking. And then I just want to be like, she's 96. It's not that shocking. No, but really,
Oh, I know.
it's
I know,
more
and
of just sad. It's very sad for somebody who has, she just had her Royal Jubilee for 70 years. Again, she wasn't very active in it because she's having major mobility issues for somebody that's 96, which is completely understandable. Yeah, it's just sad.
I'm just gonna say she lived a good life,
Oh, 100%.
and the amount of stuff, like she saw basically the end of World War II and the build up to that, and all of that, all the way to like 2022, like the fall of the Berlin Wall would have happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
Russia becoming Russia instead of the USSR would have happened. Iraq,
Mm-hmm.
feminism, all of this stuff,
She
right?
she was a prominent like influence on so many topics, right? Like she led conversations on it,
Yeah.
on feminism, on the fact that she was the queen and then her husband was the the consort,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think she was such an influence on femininity and like bringing the world into what the 21st century is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. She is just, and not saying that Charles isn't, well prepared because he is.
Well, he had like how many
70
years
years.
to
He had
prepare?
70 years to prepare for this.
Yeah.
Um, I think I've kind of toned down that I don't want him. I don't care at this point.
You're stuck with him now.
I'm stuck with him. But it's it's more of like just looking back at the legacy she's leaving.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal.
It
Like
really is.
truly just
Yeah. She has met with I think she has her reign took place
mhm.
over the span of like 15 UK prime ministers.
Okay.
15. She met 14, I think, of the president. She didn't meet LBJ.
Okay.
And I think she's had 12 Canadian prime ministers. Like, that's an amazing span.
Yeah.
Time, right?
And right, she also would go out on royal tours and all of that. So she's been in Canada 22 times.
Yeah. Yeah. And Canada was one of her favorite places,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. Um, I was gonna say something about the queen. She did you know, I heard this in the news. Did you know that she has a handkerchief from Gandhi?
I did not know that.
Gandhi gave her a handkerchief on her wedding day.
Huh.
Yeah. She showed it recently to the Prime Minister of India.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Fun fact.
That's a fun fact.
I know. Um okay, so let's talk about okay, so you might find this kind of interesting. I watched a video on YouTube the other day because
Hmm.
I like YouTube. Um and it was from the Washington Post, and it basically outlined what would happen when the queen died, right?
Yeah,
So they had this whole, and like since the day she became queen, since the day her father died, there has been a plan for her death.
exactly. So they're now into like into the session, whatever.
Yeah.
So they're
So
now in like a
it
10-day period of mourning. Her funeral is going to be on September 19th.
I know.
Um,
I'm gonna have to PVR it or not go to school, one of the two.
and do other than like we're probably going to get another like probably holiday out of it, I would think. I don't know.
I'd be cool with that.
Because if you think we have Victoria Day,
Yeah.
and Victoria Day came out of something. Um,
But
so yeah.
anyways, okay, so like I was saying, okay, so her code name was London Bridge, right? Did you know that? Her,
I think I remember hearing
so
that.
her code name for her death was London Bridge. And there is this video outlines this entire like plan. And it goes into detail about kind of the days of the 10-day period of mourning, right? So
Yeah.
she'll go from Balmoral down to Edinburgh, down to London, right?
Mm-hmm.
4 days in London, funeral, whatever. In so in the so there's like this communication stream, right? And they would say London Bridge is down, which it means like she's dead, right? So in the
I feel
BBC,
like they need a different like code word.
I don't know. London Bridge was down. London Bridge came down. But in the BBC news office, there's a blue like light, so like an emergency light, right? And that would go off when she died, and it would make like alarm sounds that nobody had ever heard before.
Mm.
And they would get the information that she, wasn't doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of the on-air personalities were to wear black. Funny enough, when they were discussing this on the BBC, because like this was breaking news all of Thursday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
The on-air personality, sure enough, was wearing a black tie, black coat, so they knew it was coming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a whole. It was a whole 10 like there's this huge plan, and it's crazy to think like this has been planning since the day she took
I
office.
I watched Charles' speech today,
Yeah,
and I will say I don't think I gave him enough of a chance. I don't love him, but I'll take him. That's where I'm at this point. And I was just thinking like listening to it,
yeah,
I was like, how far in advance did they have that speech written?
yeah,
Right? Like
yeah.
knowing again her health, knowing again she's 96. Like how far in advance did they have some form of copy of a speech like that?
Yeah, yeah.
That was probably in that 10-day, okay, on this day, you're going to go on and
Oh
you're
yeah,
going to,
100%. That's all planned. And he
yeah.
he is actually going to be traveling around to Wales, Northern Ireland and Scotland in the next like 3 days. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a whole plan. I'll have to
Again,
send you. I'll have to
that's
send you the
all
link.
that's all for publicity, like PR, and that's just tough for him, right?
Yeah.
Because
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%.
starting to like him more.
You know what? I will say he's not horrible.
He's not. And you know what? The amount that he's done, like I did a dive of, um, I really like the history behind the royal family,
Yeah.
and I think that's why I find this so interesting, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that's why we've talked about it so much.
Yeah.
So I was doing a dive today, and like he has done quite a bit with like his the Prince's Trust,
Yep.
and like he has like
He's been
he
at the
has done
forefront of a lot of different issues too, like climate
yes,
change,
yes,
organic consumption,
stuff.
that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how he brings like something I was reading today was the Queen was very young when she went into her role, and she did it. She's always stayed pretty neutral on stuff,
Mm-hmm.
where Prince or King Charles III has been able to be very involved with his activism and be very like he's been able to kind of um like have his views kind of like develop through his life. Like he's pretty much lived his life at this point.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see how he brings his view set into this new role.
Yeah, that's a good question because he's
I
not
don't know.
technically supposed to. He's
It's
supposed
it's
to be
just it's
neutral.
just interesting because he is very passionate about climate change. He
Yeah.
is very passionate about youth and mental like not as like he is very passionate about uh youth and job readiness. Like that's a lot of about what the his Princess Trust like is big on. So it'll be interesting to see how like all the previous work he's done, like if that like how he brings that into it. Or if he does, like it'll be interesting.
Yeah, it will be.
I don't know that was something that I read, like how he's gonna keep that impartiality.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
again, like
You know
he's
what?
been preparing for this for 70
Oh,
years.
100%. He also said in his speech today. And did you see any of the video clips of like this thing that happened at St. James Palace, like this like um I don't know, what do you call it? Like event is the word. It's Saturday night. It's been a busy week. But this event, like, did you see all the people like dressed up and like they're outside blowing their horns and stuff?
No.
It's like it's the historical part of the whole thing, right? It's like a
Oh,
scene out of
like him actually being said, I'm going to now be the new
no, I mean
king.
like outside of the building. Like there
Okay,
were
no, I
people
didn't see anything.
there were people, with their horns, and there were like think like medieval.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They should
Yeah.
put that on the
Like
crown. I've
that
actually
was
decided I'm going to probably watch The Crown now.
you need to
I
watch
don't
The
know.
Crown.
I know.
I started
I'm
rewatching it last night.
I was thinking about watching it last night, but I was just like, yeah. But no, maybe.
You need to.
Um, but no, it will be interesting to see how like the next 10 days plays out.
Yeah, I know that there was a private again, I've been watching a lot of BBC news and CNN and CBC this weekend. There was a private service at the Queen's Church at Balmoral today
Okay.
for her children and their families. Not
Okay.
everybody won. It was just Andrew, Edward, and Anne and their children, or some of their
Mm-hmm.
children. And so now The Queen will go from Balmoral down to Edinburgh.
Yeah.
She'll lay in state there, and then there will be a service, I think, on Monday morning, maybe tomorrow morning, maybe Sunday morning. Not quite sure. But there'll be a service for like Scotland,
Mm-hmm.
and the royals will be there. And then she'll be flown to London, where she will lie in state for 4 days. And then there will be a procession. And then there will be the funeral on the Monday.
A lot of lying in state.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I'm so thankful I'm not royal because I mean if I had to think about my body laying in state for like 10 days, just put me in the ground. Now, I will say one thing I did like about Charles' speech was that he said he will basically use the time that he still has here, right? So acknowledging that he is older,
Mm-hmm.
he is at the later part of his life, mind you. Both of his parents lived well into their 90s.
They
He
got some
has
good
some
genes
very
going.
good genes.
Yes.
Like, yeah. Um, but just that realism, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of the intercessionary between the Queen and William, who will take it on next,
Yes.
right? Who knows how long that'll be, right? I mean, it could be 5 years, it could be 10, it could be 20.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just find it refreshing that
No,
he's
but
he's
even
he's down to
20,
earth like that.
William is would still be 60. Like William would have lots of time.
How old is William?
I don't think he's 40 yet. Or maybe he just turned 40.
He's 40. So if Charles lasts 10 years, then he'll be 50 and then William will still be around for right? A good 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
But now I don't know if you have watched any of the news coverage. I know you don't have cable. But did you see the news clips of William, Kate, Harry, and
Yes, I
Meghan
did.
looking at the flowers outside of Windsor Castle?
Again, I did a little bit of a dive,
Yeah,
and apparently William invited Harry and
he did.
Meghan,
He did. Yes.
and like they're trying to. It'll be interesting to see like if this is a like a patching of the relations. I don't think it will be.
I
Um,
really hope it is. I really hope it is not only for unity of the family as they move on to this next step, but for the like those two brothers. I mean, they've been through thick and thin together since
mm-hmm,
they lost their mom,
mm-hmm,
and since before that, right? So it would just be really nice to see them,
mm-hmm.
you know, come back together.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be really interesting to see though, because with the way the succession works, right? So Charles is king, William is now Prince of Wales. All of his children get official titles. And then you've got Harry and Meghan's children who also get titles.
Mm-hmm.
So when they left the UK, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they
Mm-hmm.
left the UK because they couldn't get security for their children, right? They didn't feel safe with the paparazzi and everything, and they couldn't get security provided through the palace because their children didn't have official titles. So now that their children have official titles, would that apply to them now? So my general question is, at this point, do they move back to the UK in the next like year?
I think there was various reasons of why they left.
Well, there were, but that was one of the big reasons.
Yeah. Um, because it's not just them that don't have like official titles. I know like Anne's daughter Zara's kids don't have official titles either.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is that with the children receiving official titles,
Mhm.
that by and by should technically activate some sort of security
Mhm.
arrangement for those children,
Yeah.
right? And the reason they haven't gone back to the UK, and the reason one of the reasons why they left is because they didn't feel safe with the paparazzi.
Yeah, and that's again understandable. That's again their experience. But no, I don't know. I thought they were looking at like paying for some out of pocket, but or like Prince Charles was going to pay for some out of like the Duchy of Cornwall, like that bundle, but I don't
I
know.
don't know.
It'll be
I'm just saying now that they have official titles,
yeah, it would
right?
be interesting to see if they would like even do like half and half because to me like that is part of their ancestry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And literally what the fuck's in Los Angeles?
Nothing. Well, the
There
ocean, but
I don't care. There's an ocean
a
in
lot of
England.
pollution
Yeah, exactly.
and
But
a lot of
whatever.
far right or far left leaning liberals.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. But it was nice to see. And like I think it went like from what I saw, it went
Yeah.
positively.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love how people were like looking at like the body language, being like, oh, Harry and Meghan are touching.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love when people do that, and I'm just like, who fucking cares? Um, but Harry and Meghan were already in the UK, and they're supposed to be going to like another, not outing, but
They
another,
were going to a charity event.
yes, commitment in Germany. So, uh, Pierce, is it Pierce Morgan that does not like Meghan?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So she made a speech at a charity event at a charity called One, what's it called? One Young.
Well, child.
I forget what it was called. I watched it. Okay. Um, but in the speech, he basically like they counted the number of times that she referred to herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she had previously been a counselor, like um one young um during like the summit for this event.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she was basically just saying like, you know, I didn't originally think that I was good enough to sit at this table, but you never know like what you bring to the table. And like I thought it was a pretty good speech.
Mm-hmm.
And then Pierce Morgan or whatever is like counting the number of times she refers to herself. And
Mm-hmm.
apparently she did it 58 times in a 7-minute speech. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, who fucking cares? Who
Mm-hmm.
cares?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that's the video that I watched as well because I'm like watching this Pierce Morgan Uncensored and I'm like, they're picking her apart,
Mm-hmm.
which again is not helping the narrative surrounding her.
Yeah.
And back to the Queen. I don't know. I don't know if it's, I don't know. I hope that things continue to go smoothly.
Well, apparently, right now, the Sussexes and the Cambridges are living 600 meters apart because Will and Kate moved to, I think it was called Adelaide Cottage, right on the Windsor
Mm-hmm.
grounds. And Harry and Meghan are at Frogmore Cottage. They're
Yeah.
official reds. So they're literally, so they can't avoid each other right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I mean, it's a good time for them to mend fences because they can't avoid each other.
It's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I looked up a bunch of other so William and Catherine were the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge.
Mm-hmm.
They are now, do you know what their new title is?
They are the Duke and Duchess of Cornwall and Cambridge, and the Prince and Princess of Wales.
There you go. And I don't know, I saw something else about there might be some shuffling around of royal houses. Dear God,
Yeah.
they own so many houses.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's, yeah.
Although if you like look at it now, because the queen didn't live at Buckingham Palace, right? She lived at Windsor Castle most of the time. Between Windsor Castle and Balmoral, right?
If it, Windsor was like her weekend home, and then I thought she lived at Buckingham.
No,
No?
no, no. So I don't think she lived at Buckingham for quite a long time. I think she spent most of her time in Windsor and went
Okay.
up to Buckingham when she needed to. Um, but I'm just thinking about how times have changed because in The Crown, right, she became queen in 1952. And it shows them living in Clarence House, which is where Philip and what's her name have lived for the past several years.
No, it's where Charles and Camilla
Or
live.
who did I say? Philip?
Yeah.
Okay. Charles. It's Saturday. It's Saturday. Anyways, so where Charles and what's her face
Mm-hmm.
have lived, right? And then when the queen became queen, she was told like they wanted to stay at Clarence House, right? They
Mm-hmm.
wanted to give their kids a normal life or a more normal life than living in a
Yeah.
palace, right? And she was told the government would not allow her to continue living at Clarence House, so they had to move to Buckingham Palace,
Wow.
right? And you think about that today, and I don't think I I personally just thinking about how kind of society has changed, how the royal family has kind of come into the 21st century.
Mm-hmm.
If Charles were to die tomorrow and William were to become king, I don't think there would be the same push um, for his family to move into a
Mm-hmm.
palace sort of area, right? And I mean the question of Charles even moving to Buckingham Palace. I don't know. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know because there's so many like I don't know. I'm a little bit confused. Like they haven't actually announced because technically William is now the Duke of Cornwall, so he now has that whole like duchy thing.
He
But
has a
they also,
26 million euro income.
I know, um, just a little bit. Um, but again, they have to like cover security and like
Yeah.
that kind of takes care of all of that. Um, and they also have their country home. And then they were moving, like they were living at um
They moved out of
Ken
Kensington Palace
yeah,
and
they were living
to
in
Adelaide
Kensington.
Cottage at Windsor
Yeah.
Castle.
And like they were moving into Adelaide
Yeah.
because they're trying to give their kids like a
Yeah.
quiet, calm country, whatever. And
Yeah.
like they were trying to get all their kids to be able to go to the same school
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, some Lombard school or something. Um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see like how they change around all the residences because technically Charles or King Charles's country house is actually on the duchy estate. I don't even know. They have so many freaking properties.
Interestingly enough, though, Balmoral, they own outright. It's in the Queen's name.
It is, and so is Sangrium.
Okay.
So that's where they do Christmas. They
Okay.
can't overuse properties. Like they could just couldn't go to Windsor for Christmas. No, that's Sangrium.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's located in Norfolk or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Sorry, where's Sangrium Castle located? It doesn't know because my location settings aren't on. But yeah, so like they own a few and then or she inherited them from like her father or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think I heard on the news the other day that Balmoral was originally bought by like Queen Victoria's husband or something. So that goes really far back.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. I just want to go over there and see all these freaking properties.
I know. So do I.
Girls trip to London.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
what else
gonna
to say.
I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. The royal families is such a business. I was also looking at like how much like money they all have. It's insane.
Mhm.
The Queen's stamp collection alone was worth like $100 million.
Wow. Wow.
Or
That's
like a
crazy.
million dollars. I don't know. It was in the million.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
then tiaras,
Hmm.
like dear God. Dear God. And then there's a concern about her corgis, like who's gonna get those?
I know. Like what
She's
is,
got
what is going to happen to the corgis? She has like 30 of them. Or
oh
she had
she's had 30. She currently has four dogs. She got two corgis, a dorgie, whatever the hell that
what the
is.
fuck is a dorky?
I don't know. I think it's a cross between a what is a corgi or a dory, and then she's I think she had like a cocker spaniel or something. Um, but what is a dorky?
It's probably like a dash hound and a corgi.
Yeah, it's a dachshund and a Yorkshire Terrier.
Okay.
But I don't know. Apparently, she's gonna like leave them to her children. That's what's been suggested.
And what if none of
That's
them want a dog?
well, apparently they're getting them anyways. And like the video I was watching again, I did a little bit of a they're not like friendly dogs because they would like so like they don't play well with other dogs. That is what
Okay.
it said.
Okay.
But the queen loved her dogs.
Yes, she did.
Yes.
Oh.
Another fun fact, she owns the oldest Jersey herd
Holy
in the
cow.
world. Yeah.
Huh.
So the oldest herd, I believe it dates back to 1871.
Wow.
I'm gonna look that fun fact up just so I
I
can
I
fact check
know
it.
that there was a racehorse that won in Baltimore today, a thoroughbred that she bred. So, yeah. Okay, so we have 3 minutes left on this, so why don't we end this here and we'll come back in a minute. All right, and we are back. Ashley, this is going to be as live as we get because this episode is literally going up tonight.
That is so exciting. So, guys, I did fact check my Jersey herd comment, and it was gifted to Queen Victoria as a present. I think the reason I love the royal family so much is I love the history behind it.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like you can literally go look at her diamonds or like her the tiaras. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's so like it's she's a walking museum.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, 100%.
She was a walking museum.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I just
We'll get there one day, Ashley.
I don't know. That's oh my God.
What?
There's a book called The Dairy Queen, A History of the Jersey Breed Worldwide.
I guess we know what book Ashley's going to be reading now.
No, I don't need any more books. The queen was well versed in the bloodlines of her herd and was very proud of her cattle and the Jersey breed.
It sounds like if you two met, you two would talk cows. And you'd be BFFs because of that.
I also love the fact like she rode horses until like only a few years ago.
I know.
Like she just was so passionate and
Yeah.
was just flipping badass
Oh, 100%.
and had a crazy like very humorous.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
So yeah.
All right.
Uh,
All right.
I
Well,
love it. I love it.
I do too. I'm looking at news articles, but I don't see anything that pops out at me. Um, okay, let's talk about this. Even though I think I might regret it, because
Oh
yeah.
gosh.
So let's talk about the Queen. So there's a lot of news articles bringing up colonialism and the dark side of colonialism and stuff.
Yeah.
So are you, because you said in the past you don't like the monarchy, you want to get rid of the monarchy,
Hmm.
so but you like Queen Elizabeth, clearly. So I don't know what my question is, but you can talk about that if you want.
Um,
Like, how do you separate the two, I guess? Or why are you so entrenched in Queen Elizabeth? But yeah.
I think for me it's that it's just literally a figurehead
Mhm.
and really it's not doing anything for us as Canadians.
Yeah.
However, I I just love the history. I like the dukedoms and like the barons and like that part of like the English history. It just I'm like I don't understand all of it, so I'm just that's why I'm so interested in it.
Mhm.
Um and like the history with the tiara, like I think they're pretty. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Um but it's more of just her who she was as a person. I'm really fascinated with. Um but their whole system I think is really interesting.
It is. It is. You
And
need to. I'm
like
telling you, you need to watch The Crown. You need to watch
how
The Crown.
somebody becomes a duke like just the titles and the money. Like, I don't want the money. It just, to me, I don't know. It's just really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But again, it doesn't do anything for us.
Yeah.
So I think I have trouble, like, I would be fine if we didn't have a head of state because in all honesty, it doesn't do anything for us.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. At the end of the day, to me, it doesn't do anything for us. It's not like we need, like, obviously the governor general signs off on a bill before it's actually passed into law. However, it's not like she's calling up King Charles while he's, off playing polo, right? It's,
Yeah. I don't know. I think
I
they
don't know.
speak quite regularly.
I
But
just, I don't think like, his actual influence here,
yeah.
nada.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's more of him being like, chip, chip, cheerio, I'm going to go prevent climate change. Right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah.
I understand we're constitutional monarchy. I get it. Believe me, my partner was reading stuff and going, we're a constitutional monarchy. Like, look at all the stuff you're learning right now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my
Um,
god.
but I don't know. I understand we're built after the Westminster system. I understand all of that, right? Like, I get it.
Yeah.
But I also, like, I don't want to Brexit. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I don't really see the point in it.
You
That's
know
what I'm
what?
saying.
It'll be interesting to see. I heard the other day. So Australia in I think it was 97, they had a referendum on whether or not to keep the monarchy,
Yeah.
right? And I believe they voted, I want to say they voted to end the monarchy,
Mm-hmm.
and they never did. And some political head, I don't know if it's the current prime minister there or someone in the past, but they said they would keep the monarchy so long as Queen Elizabeth was alive. Well,
She's not alive.
Queen Elizabeth is dead now. So the question is, will Australia keep the monarchy under Charles?
And I'm also like, I don't think a lot of people actually understand a lot of, like, the system. Like, obviously, you go through and learn about the different systems of government and right, but I don't think a lot of people understand that, like, we have a head of state and, like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
God save the king. Um
Yeah,
and like
their
my
national
partner,
anthem changed. The UK's national anthem changed.
they probably had that all figured out too. But my partner was saying, like, he's a government employee, so he had to, like, swear to the queen when
Yeah,
he started his job.
yeah, yeah.
And, like, all of the government, like, Ontario plates say, like, they're in the queen's name.
Mm-hmm.
So that has to be fucking changed.
Yes, it does. And all of like our coinage too. You think about that, right?
I
Because
don't think there's a specific date when that has to be done though.
no, but it will all be changed.
It will be, but I don't think, like, that's like, I think in Britain it's pretty quick, where here I don't think it's like, I that's what I was reading anyways.
Yeah,
But
yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm on the fence.
I don't know. I like. I'm good. I'm good with the monarchy. I'm good with the Commonwealth. I'm good.
I don't know.
If it's not broken, why are we fixing it?
It's
I know what you're
not
thinking.
broken.
I know what you're thinking.
Just saying. It's
What?
not broken. However, eh, it's not like not having a head of state is going to help us make any decisions better. Really, in all honesty, it's not going to give us more power.
I know.
So, yeah. That's why I really don't care. I really don't care.
There you go. There you go.
Which that also should speak to something,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. The fact that we're a constitutional monarchy should speak to the fact that I don't care if we have a king or not. I like Queen Elizabeth because I thought she was rock and roll, but meh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's a brave new era. It's a whole new
It
world.
is. It's a
Whole
whole new
world.
world. How do you think people are going to take to Camilla as the queen consort?
Oh, interesting question.
You're welcome. I bring it tonight. It's
Oh.
not going to happen every night.
Ooh. I don't know. You know what? I think in the last probably I'd say probably 5 years, maybe a little bit longer. I think public opinion has shifted on her. Um
My Wi-Fi's been fine all day.
okay, anyways, Camilla, we had some technical difficulties. Although you probably didn't know that because I paused it until I started talking about it. But okay, Camilla, I think public opinion has shifted
Mm-hmm.
in her favor in the last probably 5 years, maybe a little bit longer. And with the queen's acceptance of her and like wanting her to be called queen, um, that's like another level of the public acceptance, right?
Mm.
Although there are still those who just don't like her because of all the drama with Diana and everything that happened between Charles and Camilla while Charles was married.
And you know what? I think they're not going to change that. However, I agree with you that there has been that shift in public perception.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the next few years are going to be telling. It's going to be telling on how they handle the transition, and it's going to be telling on what charities they take on, and
Well,
just
they
how they
can't take
handle
on any
things.
charities.
Oh,
They
yeah, I didn't think
can't.
they could.
He has to be neutral.
Okay.
She might be able to take on a charity. He has to be neutral. So all of his
I was
like
gonna say because
everything that you were talking about earlier, his climate change activism, his organic stuff, that's all at the window now. He's passed that on to other people because he can't lobby for
Philip
things.
had charities. Philip was
Well,
what's that word?
Camilla will be able to, but
Yeah.
Charles will not. He has to be neutral.
Mm-hmm.
He can't lobby for anything.
Be interesting.
Mm-hmm. So I do know that Camilla has an osteoarthritis charity that she runs. I heard that on the news
Okay.
because they were talking to someone who I don't know had dinner with her through that or was an organizer of that or something. So
Okay.
she can have charities and she does, but he cannot. So yeah. But I don't know. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to watch, that's for sure.
Again, he's got his brother Edward. I know Andrew's not involved in. He stepped down from.
Oh, well, he's technically I think he's like eighth in line. I think now. I think he got bumped up. So he could still become king. I mean, if other people died or,
So
don't
basically, if
know.
there's a mass like
Yeah.
plane crash
So
and everybody's on it,
yeah, so you've got Charles, right?
yeah.
And then you've got William, Prince of Wales, Prince George of Wales. Charlotte is third in line. Prince Louis is fourth in line. The Duke of Sussex, so Harry, Archie, Lilibet, the Duke of York, who is Andrew, is seventh in line.
Mm.
Or sorry, he's eighth in line.
His daughters with like Eugenie and are they after him?
Um, Beatrice. So there's Princess Beatrice is ninth. Miss Sienna Nellie Muzzy is 10th. Don't know who
It's her
she is.
daughter.
And Princess Eugenie is 11th.
Okay.
So there you go. There you go. But so I wonder what would happen though if, let's say, for some reason, you know, Charles dies tomorrow, William does the next day. Lord, God forbid, right? God forbid. But hypothetically, if those two die in close proximity to each other, it goes down to George, Charlotte, and Louis, who are all children.
Hmm.
So would it skip over them? Like, because they could recuse themselves, right?
They've had it before that there's somebody like what's the word? Like acting in their favor.
Oh, okay.
Like kind of like a guardian,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, I don't know.
Because if it skipped over the three of them, it would go to Harry.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that would work. But interesting.
They have to have some kind of succession plan for that
Oh,
of
100%.
like
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
would like if like say William passed, like Kate would be impromptu until um what's her first son's name? Until he turned 18.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Unless um it just went to Harry.
Which is entirely possible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't
Well,
know. If in that case, what do you think would happen?
what if it went to Harry? Okay. So what was your question?
Like if Harry like was put in the position where there was like nobody else, what do you think would happen?
I think he would probably I think he would probably sense duty of country over self.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he would do it. He might do it like, kicking and screaming, but I think he'd do it. Because he's already making, right? Like, you really need to watch The Crown. So when the way that they portray Elizabeth's uncle, who is it?
Edward,
George? Edward? The one who
who
stepped down.
married who married Wallace Smith
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes. So the way that they portrayed him was that he really didn't have anything to do with the family. He only went to them when it was conducive for him, right? So in the first couple episodes, he's focused on getting more allowance and a title for his wife.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Harry, and Harry has, I mean, he's been over here in North America for the last, like, what, 2 years now. But he has been, going back and forth somewhat in the
Mm-hmm.
last, like, 12 months when he's able, right? Because of the COVID stuff. Um, and he did meet with the queen. He has, been engaged in certain ways in going back and forth. I think he would go back and I think he would do it.
I don't disagree. Like, I think it's, um, again, I think he's spoken very vocally about the trauma he sustained from, seeing his mom go through it, or Princess Diana. But I think that duty over country, which he holds very, right, like he was in the
Yeah.
military,
Yeah.
like, I think that duty over self is something that again, the duty over self is something like he wanted to protect his family. And how did he do that? He moved them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. The other question is, are Meghan and Harry getting a divorce? Because that's been a rumor. Although I guess from what we saw today, if you've seen the video clips, it's clear they probably aren't getting a divorce.
I don't know. I I think I don't know. I really liked Megan at the start, but I have different again, there's many sides to different every story. But in all honesty, I think she needs to let sleeping dogs lie.
Yeah. No, I
And
agree.
because I listened to her first couple of her podcast is out now, Archetypes,
Oh,
and
okay.
I listened to them, and they're very good. And she talks about not only like she talks about her struggles being a black female
Yeah.
and how in different situations she's identified differently. And sometimes or like speaks about living in Britain, and she didn't specifically just talk about her experiences there. However, then she'll go and do like she did a big um interview where she talked about like with the cut in New York, where she talked about that. And I think at the end of the day, like to really give peace to her marriage and for her kids, like she's just gotta, just gotta let it go.
Yeah, and see, I think if they were ever to move back to the UK, and reunite and reconcile with the family, she would have to let that go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You couldn't carry on that type of grudge.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, you have to let sleeping dogs lie.
I don't know. That's my biggest thing. Because at the end of the day, there's multiple sides to every story. Like
Oh,
at the end of the
100%.
day, like like marrying into that family, marrying into the institution, marrying into all of that. Let's be honest, she wasn't prepared at
No,
all,
not at all.
not
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
And I think she doesn't realize how unprepared she was.
Yeah.
And now looking back at it, maybe there's that realization. However, like
Mm-hmm.
that's just part of that life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying I want to do it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that is part of that life. That is part of being a public figure
Yeah.
in that spotlight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, even like you watch her to, if you watch the video clip, you see her kind of like they were holding hands and right. And I'm not saying there's like they're showing unity, but they walked through that gate to the flowers holding hands, and he
Hmm.
was sure to like touch her back and stuff throughout that as if to give her reassurance. She looked very nervous,
Yeah.
you know? So I don't know. Yeah, she would have to let that all go if they were ever to go back. And
Yeah.
I think that I don't want to call it a vendetta, but like a grudge that she has and that she's continued to portray is one of the sticking figures between Harry being able to reunite with his brother and his father, but mostly his brother at this point, I think. You know?
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that at the end of the day, nobody's perfect, nobody, whatever. And unfortunately, they do have basically this institution behind them or the firm behind them that basically runs the royal family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, and see, the perk to the queen being gone now is that the firm is run by Charles.
mhm,
So in that way, things might be able to be a little bit different, right?
mhm.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
I don't know. I just think it's important for them. Like, again, they're raising their kids off in Los Angeles, which you or I don't know, wherever the Santa Monica, wherever the fuck they're raising their kids. However, their kids have all his family across the fucking ocean.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. And you think about it, like, sorry, I got ice in my mouth. You think about it, like if they have, I'm assuming they have the kids with them right now, and if not, the kids will be flowing there, right? To
Probably.
attend their grandmother's funeral. So if you think about that, like they would be spending time with their cousins right now, who they barely know
Mm-hmm.
because they live so far away, right?
Yeah.
That would be like you and me, Ashley, living on two different ends of the country and
Mm-hmm.
only meeting like a few times. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be able to imagine my life without, you in it. But
Yeah.
like the richness of their kids' lives, right? It depends on the people around them. And I don't
I
know.
also like in terms of safety, again, I know I understand the media and I get that.
Yeah.
But they moved to California.
Yeah.
California. I don't know how much safer it is when you have how many mass shooting. Like I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just
I don't know.
you guys do you,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
It will be interesting to see how the next 10 days go.
It will be. It will be indeed. I will be watching. I might be watching from my tablet in my classroom at times, but I will be watching. Or I might be skipping class a little, but I will be watching.
Yeah. But yeah, that is the life of Queen Elizabeth
Yes,
the
it is.
second.
The second, yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am. All right. Well, we are down to our 10 final minutes, Ashley. Do you have any final thoughts?
I don't. Other than Netflix does have The Crown.
You need to go and watch it. Like
You know
after
what? I might start again.
no,
I
no,
I
no, no, no.
started it.
No, okay. No, no. It's not I might go watch it. It's I'm going to go watch it after this dragon.
Okay. Okay.
I want to hear
But
you
yeah,
say it.
I potentially might go
I'm
watch it
going
after
to go
this.
watch it after.
Okay. Okay. So that is if you're ever wondering about like her bring up and kind of her reign, that is it's again. It's a TV show.
It's the closest thing that you can get into
Exactly.
understanding how the royal family functions for a royal family that really says nothing.
Yes.
Right? It is the closest thing you will get to seeing behind the curtain.
Yep.
And I mean, Harry was asked in an interview a couple years ago if what was portrayed on The Crown was fictional or real. And he didn't deny that some of it had actually happened. So obviously there's embellishment in places, but
oh, and there is because it's TV. But again, some of it has some historical accuracy.
Yeah. It
So
sure does.
mhm.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, when I looked at my phone and it said whatever the queen has passed or whatever, I was like, oh,
Oh, really? See,
that was so loud.
I started listening to CNN at like 11:30 in the morning and they had coverage on, so I was listening to it all day.
No, I didn't. And then like I had seen that she was unwell or like she was having medical, she was under medical supervision.
Yeah.
And but then I was like, oh, like literally so well or so loud. And then I was like, who the hell do I tell this to? I was like, this is big news. I was so upset. I was just like, the queen has died. They're like, we're gonna give you a second. It's like the queen has died. She's the longest owned Jersey herd. You don't understand my upsetness right now for the jerseys.
Oh, Ashley.
You're welcome. I bring the dramatics.
Yep, you do. You do.
Mm-hmm. So yes, guys, let us know what you think of this fun episode. Just recapping.
Yeah.
And catch us on Instagram at Saturday Night Convos and on TikTok at Saturday Night Cons. That's CONV. And if you want us to do more like historical fun stuff like this, email us at SaturdayNightConvos@gmail.com.
There you go. You covered it all.
Yeah. Okay, guys. I'm excited to know what you think of this.
Okay. All right. Until next week.
Okay.
Peace.
Bye.